That's right. Hello.
Good
Well,
morning.
I'm here. This is Hope Flansburg. This is my friend. I wanted to introduce you as we are getting so excited planning the global virtual release party for Dare to Decide. And yes, this is Hope. Also, her claim to fame is she is the only one who's held a physical proof copy of the book, sent all the way to Colorado, since we had Canadian border issues and a whole bunch of story that is complicated story you don't want to hear today. But yes, so Hope has had that. And so, well, why don't you tell us, Hope, what is it like to read my book?
Oh, well, one, it's an honor. When you asked me, one, to do this for you and be a part of this as your MC and look through the book and have this opportunity. One, it was a huge honor. I'm thrilled and I appreciate it. We've known each other now for a year and a half, and getting to know you and the conversations that we have had and how comfortable we both are to go deep. I knew I was going to get absorbed in this book right away. And I'll tell you what, the first couple pages, I'm not going to give too much away because I'm going to wait until the global launch party.
Yes.
But the first couple pages, my husband and I, we were traveling to Wyoming, and I'm like, this is perfect. I have all this time to read in the car. And the first couple pages, I'm like, I look over at my husband who's driving, and I'm like, oh my God, you have to listen to this. Oh my God, you have to hear this. Oh my gosh. Because he knows my heart and soul so deeply. And just the moment I started reading the words and the messages in this book, it's like, and Emily, I've told you this, it's like not only were you speaking to my soul and my heart, you were also speaking my soul and heart at the same time. I was just absorbing everything, but yet at the same time, you were sharing so much of what I've gone through, how I felt, just the instant connection in your words were so powerful. I didn't want to stop.
That makes me excited. There's nothing more meaningful than realizing all the work you've poured into something, a message that God has placed on your heart. And I mean, it can be a grueling process. It
Mhm.
was 4 years for me, so it's working through, and fear pops up and doubt, and even all my drafts. I was so close to it. It wasn't objective anymore. And by the way, if you're watching, say hi in the comments. Your comments actually help boost and make other people realize, oh, people are watching this. Maybe I should too. Find out why you would want to spend next Thursday night hanging out with Hope and I and people, hopefully around the world. I've got people following all around the world, and so join the party. So we're giving you a sneak peek of that. But yeah, say hi in the comments, and or if you're watching the replay, just type replay in there to let us know you're here. Say hi. And so, yeah, there's something meaningful about just knowing there's this calling on your heart, and you're taking step after obedience, and then but you're so close to it after a while. It wasn't that I was insecure about my words, because it was kind of like I've got to speak these no matter what,
Yeah.
but it was I literally don't know how to see them anymore. Like I was
Mhm.
just almost disconnected and maybe numb. Like I just didn't have any feeling like, is this good? Is this going to connect? But this is my heart, so I have to write it. And so it was so cool. Like, I don't know. I love the arrangement that you had to receive my book anyway, because just knowing, okay, this is confirmation. This resonates. And the most common feedback that I've heard so far when I let people know, hey, the book's almost ready, and they're people that would have supported me anyway. They knew, growing up, this was a dream to have a book published. They knew how much work was going into it, so they would have celebrated anyway. But the feedback that I've been getting is, I need this right now.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm okay that I don't have my own box of books right now, that I might be one of the authors, and there's a lot of them right now, that
Yeah.
everything's slow because of COVID and non-essential workers and border delays. And so you're actually going to get your copy faster through Amazon than you are waiting on me. So just your heads up. And so, Yeah.
Well,
So
I've been thrilled. You have such a talent. And I'll dive again, like I said, next Thursday night, I'm going to dive even deeper into this and give you all more details. But Emily has a huge talent for um, delivering a message through the books and through her experience, but making it so engaging with her stories, personal stories, professional stories, and really just hitting the heart of us as humans and the experiences we go through that are challenging and the crossroads that we come to. We all come to different crossroads. As I was reading one part chapter of her book, and she was talking about a variety of different crossroads in our lives, but how when we hit those crossroads, but how similar, even though they're at different times, finding the common theme in those crossroads and how we react to them and what we do and how we come out the other side of it. I found myself making my list of all the different crossroads in my life because we all have them. It's part of this human
yeah,
experience that we all go through. No one, I don't think there's anyone that cannot get something, actually a whole heck of a lot out of this book, and just kind of feel at peace while you're reading it going, oh my gosh. And when you said this is exactly what I needed, I told Emily the other day, going through COVID, and I'm diving into my wellness education training as I'm doing this, but all the things that I'm hearing from my coaches, then every single thing I've read in this book, they just tie together so perfectly. So it's been very powerful, and just that boost of support that I needed as I'm on this journey myself. So timing has been impeccable.
wow, that's good. And so, yeah, that is my prayer for everyone. I think that even if you don't think it's for yourself, you are going to be talking in the coming weeks this summer with someone who they're in that spot too, and they need to be the bridge. And I feel that's one of my calling is when sometimes it's hard to put words to what is your calling, and it's not just a role or a job or a title. But one of my is just connecting. I sometimes feel like a doorway or a crossroads myself to say, hey, here's, you need this, connect you to this so you can be on your journey, connect you to this person so that you can move along your way. And I guess that's my heart for the book too, is that it's a connection point. It's a junction to where you need to be next. You don't have to stay too long at this crossroads. And so, yes, we'll be talking about that and sort of the behind the scenes, some questions, and
Getting to know you better, getting to know your desire to serve people and how this book can serve people.
yeah,
All of it. I'm super
yeah.
excited to
I
be on.
wanted to give people a quick, because I'm introducing you, I wanted to let people know actually how we met. So random thing. It feels like as we talk, we're like,
Mhm.
you kind of start feeling like these lifelong friends, right? Like, oh, you get me. I've known you all this time, and it's only been a year and a half,
I know.
right? But so how we met was we both were our books were published by the same publisher, and there's a whole community around that. And so we were going to the conference, and of
Mhm.
course, don't know a soul. And so in our roommate thread, I post out, hey, I booked a hotel room. Who needs a roommate? And so I'm like, wow, it feels like I'm 16 going back to youth convention now, except that at least in youth convention, you usually know your roommates.
Mhm.
So here I had 3 women signed up, Shauna and Gina and Hope. And of course, you're just names on a page. I'm like, great. Hopefully they're not creepy. Hopefully we all get along. Hopefully everybody's okay with going to bed fairly early because, you know, which which was amazing because that was kind of the first thing everybody said on the thread was, hope you don't mind, but I like to crash early. And so that was our first connection to say, hey, this actually might work out.
Yeah.
And so then we had a Zoom call to actually officially meet. And something clicked on that Zoom call that it was like, this is it. Like, we're
Mhm.
long, fast friends and we're going to do this. And so by the time we actually got to the hotel room,
It was easy. It was
it
smooth. It
was
was
like we'd already known each
yeah.
other.
We
Yeah.
were
It was
excited.
dark and we didn't even really get to meet each other. And, people are in bed already. And
Well, because you had come from Europe. You had your
Yes.
Europe trip, so you were doing.
Yeah, I went to
Yeah,
France for a few days and then I had to miss kind of some of the pre-convention
yeah.
stuff. But yeah, so I got off the plane, got home, dumped my suitcase out, threw more stuff in, and then literally got on the actually no, I went to the store to buy things because I didn't have time to do laundry. then I and then I drove across the border, the 6 hours to Ohio to the conference straight. And I was tired, but I was on a high. Like I had been looking forward to this so
Mhm.
much, and it was amazing.
Yes, it
And
was a
it
great,
with
great
the
week.
connections and the relationships. And that's what I've realized is these growth opportunities when you step into a dream.
Mhm.
It's not just about the dream itself, and that's what's in the book too, but it's these the dream is the motivator to get off your butt and go do something, pursue something. And along the way, you're shaped and you're formed and you meet people and
Mhm.
you do things and you go places you wouldn't have normally done. And because of the dream, I've met some of the most, like, some of my new treasured friends
Yeah.
that I connect with, and they're on a similar journey, but different, and it's their own. And I'm better for meeting these people, and they're speaking
Mhm.
my heart, and they're realizing, okay, there's someone else working. They're facing the same obstacles. They're moving through their own fears. They're realizing their own dreams, and they don't have all the answers to. Okay, I'm okay. We can do this.
And
And
that's what at conference last year, that's what was so beautiful is all those conversations that happened between the people you're networking with, you're meeting, you're sharing your dreams, you're sharing your passions, you're kind of on this like-minded journey together. And those conversations that sometimes we just don't have in our day-to-day world
yeah,
sometimes were, I think, the most meaningful and the most impactful.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible. And so, yeah, they're doing that a virtual.
Mhm.
They're nuts, man. The conference. I'll drop the link in after this
Yeah.
video. I have to go search it out. I'll drop the link. It is worth the investment. And yeah, I had to pull together some money to be invested, but I knew there would be huge regret if I did not go because even though it's virtual, it's live. They're putting a ton of money in technology so that you actually can interact with people. They showed us
Yeah.
the software they're using, never seen anything like that
Yeah,
before.
neither. And the tables
They
our little people are going to be able to be at.
Yeah,
It's
you can touch that. You can like touch
yeah.
the tables where
Mhm.
people are hanging out. You get to hang out with people from your area, so you get to meet people who live close to you. And then you just challenged, and then everything you learn, like it's not this fire hose, like now I got to home and process everything. You're processing and you're taking action,
Mhm.
like
Right
session by
away.
session. Yeah, it's very actionable.
Mhm.
And so if you've got a dream and you're even trying to learn how to think like an entrepreneur, how do I expand from my strengths to my weaknesses? How do I learn about, everything's online now. And so you're learning
Yeah,
all kinds of new skills. How do you even
that's
pastors and
cool.
church leaders are going to this conference because they're learning to think differently and how to build relationships and reach a message where it is virtual, it is online, it is how do I serve people by connecting with them in a whole different way, in a whole different world. And so, yeah,
And the
amazing.
tools
So I'll
that they
drop the link.
yeah, the tools they share with us have been priceless from day one, from being a part of this group. Just the tools and the connections, and we keep talking about the connections, but one of the reasons we do is because it has been so phenomenal. I've never been a part of anything like this, and I've been a part of a lot of things, so but nothing like this to where um, you get to take your own lead, but the support and the connections that you have guiding you and helping you in the tools, just to take it. Emily and I were talking about this the other day. We have all of this, but truly being able to do it at your pace, what's right for you. They honor everyone's personality, they honor everyone's life priorities and where you're at on your
Yeah.
journey. But the tools are there for you to use, and to get so comfortable and feel so supported around that makes everything that we're doing and how we're growing
Yeah.
that much more attainable.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we had no intention, actually totally going off excitedly about the Igniting
Mhm.
Souls conference when we got on this call.
And
But I
anybody can join us.
the theme is, if you are feeling stuck right now, if you know you need expansive growth to keep up the way the world is challenged, the way the world is going right now,
Yeah.
and you need to up level your leadership, your influence, your impact, and your skills and how to do that, even and don't ever understand the way you think. To me, Dare to Decide isn't just a bunch of practical tools to figure out a
There we
decision. It's almost a mindset book. How do you
go.
shift your mind to say, okay, I accept this is what I'm dealing and this is how I'm feeling, so that
Mhm.
you can actually move on and do that. And often of we're stuck because we're comparing how we think and the way we should do something to how we are right now. And it's this permission to say, maybe just meet your challenge from where you're at instead of where you think you should be or what isn't.
Well, and you have a very compassionate and empathetic way of, through your messages and through the book, giving really good, solid um, support and information to guide people, but also giving them grace and permission as well, um, to be where they're at and honor where they're at, and the emotions and the fears that come up along with it. So you do a really good job of combining the two. I'm trying to think of the word I'm looking for. Just I'm going back to the Crossroads, because through COVID, everyone, I don't think there's one person that has not been affected by some sort of crossroads through the last 5 months and what everybody's going through. Sorry, I got some flies coming my way. Um, and so to get into this book and how you offer such a gracious support and kindness and heart around it, but also um, giving, kind of pulling people out of their comfort zone as well, and just doing it so graciously. It's I've read a lot of self-help books over the years. I mean, I'm assuming this is horrible to say, we didn't even talk about that, the exact category you want me to put this in, when we talk about it,
Still
but
in question. It's probably going to move around a bit till I figure out what connects with people. But yeah, self-help is one of them, even though it's like um the book is also
yeah.
bring God into it from wherever you're at. And so
Mhm.
if you're like, God is not a part of my journey, there's a way you can move through your journey without that. But if God has been speaking to you,
Mhm.
it's going to confirm what he's already speaking to you in that book and just give you permission to draw it out. So it's kind of like there's faith-based, Christian
Yeah.
faith-based roots to it, but self-help as well.
Mhm.
Owning your stuff, owning where you are. Yeah.
Self-help, empowerment. I mean, it's just inspiration. It's an inspirational book.
Yeah.
Um, and I've read a lot over the years, and there's some that you get, halfway through and you're like, oh, that was really good. That gave me what I needed. And you just kind of put it away. It's a season, it's a time. This one I don't want to put down. I literally don't want to put down. And so, but I had to finally kind of discipline myself, because the information in each chapter and how Emily, not only gives you the information, but at the end, she gives you tools and a challenge to actually think about. And I found myself wanting to, okay, I need to stop because I want to do this challenge. Personal growth. Personal growth is another. I love personal growth. I feel that if you're going to be a leader, this is just my personal opinion, but if you are going to be a leader, there has to be some personal growth and depth in that role. And so there's a lot of personal growth in here as well, and really just taking that responsibility of becoming more aware and getting to know yourself better and asking yourself some of those questions, going deep. And you do that at the end of each chapter, and I absolutely love that, because I'm one of those people that I like action plans. And so the fact that you have those at the end of this book, so I did find that I had to slow down and give myself time after each chapter to contemplate, to think, to do those action plans where I'm like, oh, okay, I'm ready to go on to the next one. So yeah, I've really struggled putting the book down. So it's
That's odd.
been
Yeah.
amazing.
I had the same feedback from my beta readers. It's I've heard it is a easy read, but
Mhm.
not a quick read
Yeah.
because I make people think, which I love to do. And so people probably avoid me for that very reason. But other people, I just see leaning into it when you know I need it. Then it's a guide. And sometimes you just need someone to sit with you while you're thinking because it's so easy to go off and run to say, oh, I don't know my own answers. I'm just going to get busy with something else. But if you have someone kind of creating that space for you to think and process.
Well, and I've even noticed that in our conversations, that when we have our conversations, and it was right off for you and me with those conversations, where I would leave the conversation and you gave me so much to think about in those conversations for my own, okay, what do I want my next step to be? What do I want my action plan to be? Why maybe you made me get curious in just all of our conversations. And I love that. Absolutely love that.
Cool. All right. So takeaway from today is don't stay stuck. Don't stay just feeling like something is off about your life, even though there's tons of uncertainty around. Lean into the personal growth that you're going to become through this because going through this season. And so intentionality could be picking up the book. It could be just attending. You're going to be inspired just attending the virtual, the release party. We'll have more of this conversation happening. It could be going to the Igniting Souls conference. I did drop the link in the comments there.
Yeah.
Or whatever the step is for you. Maybe you've already known what the step is and you're just letting it sit because the rest of it doesn't make sense. Just take the step that you need so that you are preparing yourself for what is next. And it's okay if it doesn't all make sense.
It doesn't do sometimes. That's why it's called a journey.
All right. And so in the comic, you can pick up the book. It's up on Amazon. Pre-orders are live for the ebook and the paperback. And so you can get that there. And also you can go to daretodecide.ca. You can find out more about the book there if you are curious. And otherwise, we hope to see you July 23rd. 8 p.m. EST. That's our virtual launch party. And I should have all of these links already, but I don't. But the virtual release party is, let me just type that in right now. We'll drop that in the comments there. It's so bit.ly.
Fantastic.
I'll be sharing ahead of time.
I'll be sharing all those on my page as well. It'd be 6 p.m. Mountain Time, where I am. So Emily and I are going to be on live together. I'll be tuning in from Colorado, 6 p.m. She'll be tuning in from Canada, 8 p.m. Is that right?
Yeah, Toronto. Yeah, it'll be 8. And BC, where my family lives, it'll be 5 p.m. Okay. I haven't looked where my friends in Australia are. We've got some friends in Norway that might tune in too. Sorry, I didn't check up your time zones. Hopefully it's not at 4 a.m. for you.
I think it's 8 hours ahead in Norway from me. So
you might be waking up from you. Or there'll be replays. But all the prizes, the chances to win all the door prizes, you got to be live. So hopefully you can make it. So
yeah, join us. It's going to be fun. We're going to make it a good time. We're going to talk all about Emily's journey and through the writing and publishing process and just her personal journey that brought her to this book as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope to see you there. Take care.
Thanks. Thanks for having me, Emily.